Hey guys, my name is Osvaldo Rodriguez and I'm gonna show you how to create an image slider. So what it is a convenient way to display multiple images in a web page. It can be done using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and even jQuery. But for this example, I'll show you how to do it using only HTML and CSS. The images can be displayed automatically or manually, and I'll explain you how to do it manually. So for this purpose, we're going to create a container inside the body tag, and this container will have 5 elements in my example, and these elements are going to be the images. They will have the same class, but they will have different IDs. And we are also going to create some dots, which we're going to use to navigate from one image to another. So let's start with the HTML. So inside the body tag, we are going to create a div tag with the class of container. And inside this, we're going to put all the, 5 input tags with the type of radio. You remember this from last week's material, and with the same name of image, but with different IDs, as you see, image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4, and image 5, and with the checked attribute. This means that this is the first image that's going to be displayed in the website, and every time the user clicks in one of the radios, it's going to check that radio and it's going to display the image that will be connected to this ID, and you'll see this in the next slides. So now let's add the images. So we create 5 div tags with the same class, my slides, and with different IDs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inside this div, we're going to add the images, and to every image, we're going to add 2 label tags with the 4 attribute, which is going to be I5, this one, with the class pre, which means that once you hit this label, when you click on this label, it's gonna take you to the previous images, and once you click this next label, it's gonna take you to this next image. So like this second image has the first label of I1, displaying the ID 1, and it's take you to this image. And once you click this next label, it's gonna take you to this image. So these labels are going to be in left and the right side of the container. So you see that all of the div tag has the same attribute but with different IDs. Need to be careful with this. Make sure that we are adding the right ID to this too. So let's keep going now. So here we already added this to the HTML file, but we need to add this one. This another div with the class of nav with 5 labels with the same class dots with different IDs, ID.1, .2, .3, .4, and .5, and they are calling this radius ID1, ID2, ID3, ID4, ID5. It's the same with the 4 attributes calling these IDs. So every time we click on them, we're showing the image that is connected to this ID. So let's keep going now. Now that we have the HTML set up, the images in the website, this is how the website looks like. It has the title, it has the dots, and it has the images. You see that it doesn't have any style yet. So let's jump into the CSS and start adding the style to this. So the HTML and the body, we're gonna give them a width and a height of 100% with no margin. To the container, let's style the container. We're gonna be margin of 0 and out, a margin of 20 pixels, a position of relative, a width of 70% with height of 0, and a padding button of 60%, and a color, a background color, and a border, just to make it look fancy. And this is how it looks like. We have the dots, we have the container, we have the images, and we see that these other images are not inside the container. So let's put the images inside the container now. So for this purpose, we're going to give these properties of width and height 100% to the class mySlides, which is the div tag that has all the images, and to the images, all the images inside the class mySlides. So here it is. Now all the images are inside the container. You may remember that the first image was displaying was this one. So now we have the 5 images inside the container, but we still have the dots. So let's hide the dots. There we go. So all the dots has, remember, the ID of I1, I2, I3, I4, and I5. And here we are hiding them by adding the property display none to them. In this way, the images will fill the container, but we're still gonna have the border, you see? So now let's add style to the navigations in the left and in the right side of the container. For that, we are, remember this, the pre-class, next class, we're gonna give them a width of 20% of the total container to each of them. A height of 100% is gonna fill all the container from top to the bottom in this part of the container. The position is absolute, top 0, and a background color like this, 88, 88, and point period 2, so it's not going to be too dark or too invisible, and people will still know that they can click on them. A Z index of 99, remember the index property allows us to set up things inside the website and to say which one will display first. So this one is displaying over the other thing because of the number of index that I gave it. And cursor pointer, this cursor is gonna let us it's gonna explain or show the end user that every time they hover over these two navigations, they are able to click on it. Now let's separate the sliders. So this is the pre, remember, it's gonna be in the left, and this is the next, it's going to be in the right. So they will be separate. Let's keep going now. So now let's bring the dots to the front. Remember they were hidden, so now let's bring them to the front with these properties: position absolute, and text align center, and the index 99. And here are the dots: -5%, pixel from the top. A width and height are the dimensions of 10 pixels. A margin 0 and 4 pixels, and a position relative, so they will be situated in this part. A border radius, why not, 50%, and display in line block like this, and no vertically, and a background color. So now that we have everything here, we need to connect them, right? So I was explaining to you all before about the index. So let's add the mySlide, the index of -1, so it's going to be behind the navigation and the dots. And as you see here, so every time the user hit the first dot, it's going to be checked and it's going to display the image 1. The same with the 2, it's going to be checked and it's going to show the image with the ID 2, and so on. So we're gonna give them the index of 99 to this, right? So in this side, we're going to give a background color to the dots, so every time the user check one of them will know which one is being checked, and they will know which one is next. And just let's enter just the title. So let's see the end of this. So here is the tutorial where I learned to create this image slider. You can visit it. And yeah, let's see the end of the slider, how it looks like. So it's right here. So this is the first image. This is the second image. You see it changing the color, and we know in which image we are right now. But we also can navigate by hitting these left and side labels, as you see. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and learn how to create it. If you want to know more, let me know.